When was the last time you did something for the first time? Every now and then, I like to ask myself this question. I guess it's to remind me to keep challenging myself, to seek discomfort in order to grow as a human being.
This is a complete failure, and it's starting to turn into a nightmare.
To learn, understand, develop, and explore. This might explain our drive to build out our own exploration rig, a 4x4 camper van that would enable a certain quest. A quest to reach new horizons, to do things for the first time, to follow a certain dream. The story of this quest starts now. First things first. We need to cover some ground. A lot of ground. And some water too. We start strong, cruising through Sweden. Hitchhiking on a ferry to leave Denmark. Speeding through Germany along the Autobahn. Getting incredibly thankful for our cruise control. Found a place to camp, close to the Czech border. Stopped by a charming village before we stopped in Prague for lunch. Our not-so-urban husky was reluctant to stay, so we got back in the van and quickly put more mileage on it. Undeniably rushing through these countries, including Austria and Slovenia, and with good reason though, reasons that will become apparent throughout this journey.
Before we set out on this audacious journey, we felt the need to research what we're about to undertake. Like, how would it work to bring our dog into these faraway countries? Will she need any vaccines? Maybe we need certain vaccines? How will we stay connected online? How will we find safe drinking water? Which insurance do we need where? And are we covered in case of unwanted scenarios? Do the countries we want to visit demand a certain international driver's license? Yeah, you get the idea. And in the end, we were confident that we'd figured out all the basics. Our apartment was rented out, which led to a logistical game of chess for us and all of our stuff. Renting out the apartment was another way to extend the length of our trip, and we're certainly interested in gaining as much time as possible, as the end goal was so far away.
After a fairy tale-like start to the day, we headed towards the coast and were greeted by the Mediterranean Sea. For the first time, we got a taste of off-roading with a Sprinter. This rocky descent led to a beach where the setting sun beautifully lit up the rear of the van. We got a feeling of how rushed this journey had started when we realized our kitchen was not even properly uncovered. At the same time, we recognized that we were out doing exactly what we wanted. Now, unseen horizons would be our companion for the next few months.
Entering Bosnia, hopefully.
Hoping these are valid here.
The first border we actually had to show some
ID.
Yep. Okay, we made it through.
This is the first new country we have visited on this trip.
Oh, that's not true. Croatia was new for me.
Yeah, that's true. Now we are heading to a few sites today. It's going to be interesting. And the first one is one where we might be able to get the the temperature down a bit.
This is what 39 degrees looks like with a dog. The asphalt is way too hot. She's not happy about it, but it's the best for her.
The swimming squad had cooled down and got going further into the country. We had heard good things about the nearby city and had to take a closer look. As we descended down from the mountains, the streets got narrow and it looked like we had entered a place with a story to tell. We crossed the Neretva River, looking for the most iconic landmark of the city. The city in question is Mostar. Mostar was under Ottoman rule in the 15th century, and during their 400-year reign of the area, the Starry Most was built. This old stone bridge is the most iconic structure of the town, and it bridges the Catholic and the Muslim part on each side of the river. During the devastating Bosnian War, the bridge got decimated and ended up in ruins. UNESCO contributed, among others, to rebuild the bridge in 2004, and now it's again a symbol of the town and has become a popular sight among travelers. If you're there at the right time, you might witness the local divers leaping into the river, more than 20 meters of free fall. If you collect enough courage and go through a program with a trainer, you could end up jumping yourself, which will award you a membership in the Mostari Diving Club. We didn't opt for this when we visited, but hey, enjoying some Bosnian cuisine with a great view of Starry Most is not too bad either. After an evening stroll through the polished cobblestone streets and the chance to fully experience the bridge up close, just like the setting sun, we vanished towards new horizons.
And let me tell you, it's a special feeling traveling in our self-converted van, bringing our home along wherever the road takes us. It's a safe space, and we've had nothing but good experiences this far. Having said that, I wanted to prepare for any scenarios, like bring tools along to fix things, spare parts to be able to get going quickly, and so on. As I researched this trip, I came across several sources who stressed the importance of having a good insurance, so I had to check it out. And that's how I came across Safety Wing, which seemed to tick all the boxes for us. I think it's a great package for travelers and nomads like us, as it covers more than 180 countries worldwide. It has visa letters built into the product, a rolling subscription, which makes it easier to cancel anytime, and even the opportunity to purchase after you've already arrived at your destination. Our exciting extended travel plans will ultimately see us travel in our own camper van, by aircraft, by a rented 4x4 SUV, and maybe even a motorbike. All this to end up in some very non-touristy countries. Motor accidents, travel delays, lost luggage. It feels reassuring to know that Safety Wing has our backs. So travel and health insurance is hereby taken care of, and there's one more unknown out of the equation. There's a link in the description in case you're in a similar situation and on the hunt for an easy way to stay covered. Thanks to Safety Wing for supporting our adventures.
Little did we know that we picked a camp spot right next to some interesting ruins on a hilltop. And boy, did we want to see it up close and have a unique backdrop for our breakfast. Only problem was, the path going up was sort of steep and covered in loose rocks. Our next destination would prove to be one for the books, and little did we know how much we would like spending time in the upcoming region. We headed east and entered Montenegro. Okay, so we have now officially capitulated the heat and trying to flee to a bit cooler area. We're sitting at 33 degrees outside now. I think this one is really happy for air condition at least. A golden mountain meadow, lit by these astonishing sun rays. We shared a feeling of being back in a Dolomite-like landscape, and had trouble focusing on the road as these surroundings were so surprisingly impressive. Found a really nice road here in Montenegro, but there seems to be an issue. And guess who's super keen to get in on the action? Oh, it's free now. Nice. How about this for a view as the sun is setting? Not too shabby. We rolled into tonight's camp, which turned into a place we spent 2 more days. This area stole our hearts, and it felt criminal to leave it after just 1 evening. You can free camp in Dormitor, but expect a friendly ranger to visit you in the morning to collect a symbolic fee. It's well worth it. Bobotov Kok is the highest peak of Dormitor, and in fact also the tallest mountain of Montenegro, at 2,523 meters. Although we didn't meet many tourists in our time here, the majority of these seem to be hikers eager to explore the nearby stone massifs, including Montenegro's highest mountain. We're trying to make some way from Montenegro towards Albania, but wow, the weather just really turned on us. Oh. The streets are flooding here.
And this is the first we've seen of any rain on this trip. And it's kind of sketchy as the streets are just flooding. Look at this.
Just as sudden as the rain started, it vanished, and we got going again. We learned that the Tara River Canyon has the deepest gorges in Europe. The Tara Canyon is also a part of the Durmitor National Park, and thereby also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that's indeed also the case for the Durdevica Tara Bridge, an impressive structure that soars 172 meters above the Tara River. It was completed in 1940, but only 2 years later, during World War II, one of its arches was blown up to prevent military forces utilizing the bridge for transportation. In 1946, the bridge was rebuilt and has enabled crossing of the Tara Canyon ever since. Another option for the adventure seekers is to try the zip line, which also crosses the canyon, which apparently is the longest and fastest zip line in Europe. Our time in Montenegro was coming to an end, and we were so happy that we decided to visit this magnificent country, from the picturesque scenery of Durmitor and all of its surroundings, to the free-roaming horses who searched our fridge for snacks, to the old Volkswagen Golfs, who the locals managed to drive on daring off-road tracks without getting stuck. We simply got charmed by it all. Before our quest continued, we wanted to see one last place, which would take a toll on both the van and us. In beautiful surroundings and capriciously weather, we would undertake a road we likely won't do ever again. This and lots more is waiting for you in the next episode. Thanks for following along.